Alright, let's take a look at the even homework answers for 6-1. We'll start with 18, and we want to solve these triangles. So we want to find all of the angles and sides that aren't given to us at the beginning. So first thing I'm going to do is draw my triangle, label it A, B, and C, and I'll put in the information given, 60 degrees, 9, and 10. Alright, so I do have a side-side angle. Two sides, potentially 0, 1, or 2 triangles. Let's see if we can figure them out. So I know that I've got sine 60 over 9. That's my one pair of opposite sides and angles. I can set this up as sine C over 10. That is one side that I know. Alright, so if I move this around, I'm going to end up with sine C is equal to 0.96. So to get rid of the sign, I'm going to use inverse sine. C is the inverse sine of 0.96. And so anytime we do the inverse sine, we're going to want to check for two triangles. All right? We can do the H equals b sine theta option, but this is, I think, a little bit faster than checking all our options. So here's what we're going to do. C is equal to, when we plug it in, 74.2 degrees. We're always going to go 180 minus that to get our other possible angle. So C1 option is 74.2. C2, the second option for C, if we subtract 74 from 180, we end up with 105.8 degrees. All right, I'm going to make a little chart over here for our two possible answers. We got C as 74.2. Other option is C equals 105.8 degrees. All right, what do we still need to find on both of our triangles? Well, we don't have angle B yet. And we don't have side B over here. So those are the things we still need. Well, angle B would be pretty easy to find because remember, if we have 60 and we know side C, we're just going to subtract from 180 to get the third side. So for the first one, we'd go 180 minus 60 and get 120. And then 120 minus 74.2, and we'd end up with 45.8. We could do the same thing, 120 minus 105.8. And we end up with, for our second triangle, 14.2. So if all the angles work, we do have two triangles. So in this case, is it possible to have angles of 74 and 45.8? Absolutely. This triangle works. Can we have an angle of 105.8 and 14.2? Sure. So that angle also, that triangle also works. We're going to have two triangles here, two distinct answers. For side B, we'll need to do our law of sines again. So we have, let me erase this. So we have space to do it. Sine of 60 over 9 is going to equal the sine of, for the first triangle, 45.8 over B. Go ahead and plug that in, move that around, you get 7.45. And if we come back down here and change the 45.8 for our second triangle to a 14.2, plug that into your calculator, move things around, solve for B, you get 2.55. We've solved our triangle. All right, on we go to 24. For 24, same situation. Let's draw our triangle. A, B, and C. And so angle C we know is 95.20 degrees. Side A is 35, and side C is 50. So again, two sides, potentially two triangles here. Let's check for them. Sine 95.2 over 50 equals sine A over 35. And we'll move this around, and so we'll end up with sine A equals 0.697 So A is the inverse sine of 0.697. And so A is equal to 44.2 degrees. Or, remember we're going to subtract from 180, minus 44.2. Other option is 135.8 degrees. Let's make our chart here. So we've got angle A is 45.2, or angle A is 135.8. We still need angle B, so we'll get that next by subtracting all our angles from 180. Let's start with 180 minus the known angle, 95.2. And if we do that, we end up with 0.8, make that 79, 4, 17 minus 9 is 8, 84.8, and then we go ahead and subtract 45.2 from this one, and we end up with 40.6. That's not right. I made a mistake somewhere. Sorry, 39.4. I think that's right. Check my math for me. Let me know if I'm wrong on that one. In any case, when we come to our other triangle, 84.8 minus 135.8, we don't have any angles left. B is going to be a negative. That can't happen, so we do not have a second triangle. So in this case, it's a side-side angle triangle with only one triangle as a result. Still need side B. Let's go ahead and set it up. We've got ourselves sine of 95.2 over 50 equals sine of 39.4 over B. And if we plug that in, I believe we get 32.67. Remind me to talk about this one. I may have written down my numbers incorrectly for the decimals there, so we can check that one. But that's your setup. All right, on we go to 30. Problem 30, let's set up our triangle. A, B, and C, 58 degrees, 4.5, B is 12.8. Let's go ahead and find angle B. So sine of 58 over 4.5 equals sine of B over 12.8. And when we move these around, we get sine of B equals 2.41. You're going to plug that into your calculator by doing the inverse sine of 2.41. And you're going to get an error. Remember that sine has to be between, inverse sine has to be between -1 and 1. Remember that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Can the opposite be bigger than the hypotenuse? Never, never, never. This triangle does not exist. We cannot form a triangle with this given information. It's not going to work. Let's check out 36. All right, we want to find values of B so that the triangle has either 1, 2, or no solutions. So let's use our formula. We're going to do H equals B sine A. All right, so we're going to have H equals B sine of 60 degrees. All right, so there's a couple different situations. The first one for one solution. Let's look at A. It has one solution if A is equal to H. All right. If A is equal to H, we know A is 10, and we know H equals B sine 60. So we'll just solve for b. Divide both sides. And we get b equals sine 60. There's another situation where we can get one triangle, and that's if a is greater than or equal to b. So we know 10 is a, and so if b is less than or equal to 10, we would also have one triangle. All right, how about two solutions? Part B. For two solutions, we have to have h is less than a is less than b. So in this situation, we need to have h, which is b sine 60, has to be less than 10, because that's a, and that has to be less than b. Okay? Well, we just want to know what b is, and in this case, we can just look at this part. b has to be greater than 10. All right, last part here, C for no solution. You get no solutions if a is less than h, a is 10, h is b sine 60. We'll divide both sides by sine 60, and you'll get no solutions if b is greater than 10 over sine 60. All right, 42, let's find the area of the triangle. So the area formulas, we like doing those. Those are shorter. One thing, let's convert this right away. This is the same thing as saying 5 and 15/60ths, which is equal to 5.25 degrees. We'll use our formula for area. Area equals 1/2 sine A, 5.25, times B times C, so times 4.5, times 22. Punch those into your calculator, and you come out with an area approximately equal to 4.53. All right, that takes care of our calculation problems. Moves us into our word problem. So I'm going to pause the video there, split it in half, and keep going with our second video.